Yo guys, what's up? It's Mr. Oz and I'm back once again with another video. Every year when FTG drops a new DLS update, there's one thing that we all look forward to before anything else, the cover stars. And if you look closely, FTG has been following a pattern for years. So today, we're going deep into the history of DLS cover stars, how FTG chooses them, and who could possibly be on the cover of DLS 27. So before you do anything, make sure that you subscribe to the channel, like the video so you don't miss anything. Let's dive right into it. This was the last time FTG put one player on the cover. So FTG went with just one player, one superstar, and that's it. They never went back to solo after this. Why is that? The game was still developing and they wanted to tap into different leagues and of course different markets. So DLS 19 was the end of an era and the last time we saw a single player on the cover of DLS. So DLS 20, then FTG introduced the duo system that was Gareth Bale and Luis Suarez. Two different leagues, two different styles. And guys, notice something here. Bale carried over from DLS 19 to introduce Suarez. Again, Luis Suarez getting on the cover of DLS for the first time. When DLS 21 dropped, FTG switched things up completely. Bale and Suarez gone. And in their place, Roberto Firmino and Kevin De Bruyne. Firmino the Brazilian forward and KDB the Belgian midfielder. So both of them were in the Premier League back then. So DLS 22, Kevin De Bruyne stays, but now he's paired with Serginho Dest. And FTG was showing us they weren't just picking the biggest names. Dest was hot property back then, one of the most exciting young defenders back then in the game. Until DLS 23, then Kevin De Bruyne stays, and this time with Achraf Hakimi. So 3 years on the cover for De Bruyne. That was the longest reign in DLS history. But we've never had a longer reign than the one KDB holds. And Hakimi, one of the best wing backs on the planet, FTG found him perfect to grace the cover of DLS 23 back then. So this was the pattern FTG has been following for years. One player leaves the cover to pass the torch to the other player to grace the cover of the game. DLS 24, Kevin De Bruyne became the legendary face of Dream League Soccer. This was his 4th year in a row. No other star on the DLS cover has ever had that kind of run, so he was the face of the game. But every era comes to an end. It was time for a fresh look, and who better to join the cover than Rodrigo? So the Brazilian star had just won everything, so FTG just paired him with KDB in DLS 24, and when it came to DLS 25, then Rodrigo, now in his 2nd year, he was joined by a new face, Julián Álvarez. He had just won the World Cup and everything with Argentina, and of course Manchester City, he was still there. FTG put him on the cover alongside Rodrigo. FTG chooses players who represent the biggest moments in football. So yeah, that's how it was when it came to DLS cover that year. And again, of course, the usual FTG pattern. Alright guys, so before we continue, make sure that you like and subscribe to the channel if you're new. Let's continue with the video. DLS 26. So Rodrigo is out, Álvarez carries his on, and is joined by Raphinha, one of the most exciting players to be on the cover of DLS. So in all DLS cover history, since DLS 20, one cover star always carries over to introduce a new star to grace the cover. They don't just pick at random. Since DLS 20, we've had 2 players on the cover of the game. So DLS 27, if the pattern holds, Raphinha stays, Álvarez is out, and Raphinha introduces the next big star on the cover of the game. But who is it? Let's find out. One player that they could actually consider is Cole Palmer, one of the most exciting young players in the Premier League. He's exactly the type of rising star FTG loves. Yeah, if they want to go back to the Premier League, then Palmer makes perfect sense. But considering he had an underwhelming season, yeah, we don't expect to see him selected. If FTG wants to go back to a World Cup winner, like they did with Julián Álvarez, Yamal, yeah. And of course, FTG has already shown us they do love players from Barcelona. Raphinha is already there, Dest was there. If FTG wants to make a statement about the next big game, I think Yamal would make perfect sense if they actually get him. So another strong contender is Pau Kubasi. FTG could actually take that turn if they actually want to have 2 Barcelona players on the cover of DLS. That's Raphinha and Pau Kubasi could make perfect sense. Then we have Jude Bellingham. So if FTG wants to go back to Real Madrid, of course we saw them going with Bale and Rodrigo. So if they want to go back to a Real Madrid player, then Jude Bellingham would be a perfect fit. Then guys, we'll move on to Florian Wirtz. So if FTG wants to go back again to Premier League, expect to see a Florian Wirtz face on the cover of DLS. Now guys, if you ever see a DLS 27 cover with a Yamal Musiala on it, then you just know that FTG just brought every player's wish, which is getting the Bundesliga teams and players into the game of DLS 27. Guys, so now my personal prediction, and I think if FTG goes with Raphinha and Florian Wirtz, then that would be a very strong DLS cover. Yeah, just let us know in the comments down below who of these players you think is gonna grace the cover of DLS 27. Of course, we expect DLS 27 to push hard on insane features like like stadium development, academy features, maybe even a revamped career mode. Yeah, guys, I do have a video. Yeah, we do have a video about the things we wish to see in DLS 27. Yeah, just watch the video down below. The link is down below and in the cards right here, up in the cards. Lots of other cool videos coming on the channel. I hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. I am Bissals. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.